You just finished your hardest workout, and now a single meal might undo everything you sacrificed. That fear you feel every time you reach for protein after fasting is completely real and deeply frustrating. Millions of people believe that eating protein during a fast immediately destroys every benefit they have earned. They think autophagy shuts down the moment amino acids enter the bloodstream and touch a single cell. This belief has been treated like absolute law inside every fitness community, nutrition forum, and health podcast. But a brand new study published in Cell Reports has just shattered that long-standing and deeply rooted belief. Scientists discovered something that no one expected, something that changes the entire conversation about protein and cellular health. You can eat 100 grams of protein in a single sitting without shutting down your autophagy. That is not a small finding. That is a complete overhaul of everything we thought we knew. To understand why this matters so much, you first need to understand what autophagy actually is and does. Autophagy literally means self-eating, and it is your body performing a deep internal cleanup of damaged cellular waste. When you fast for hours, your body goes into repair mode and begins breaking down broken cellular components. It hunts down malfunctioning proteins, recycled organelles, and dead cellular debris that would otherwise cause long-term internal damage. This process is linked to slower aging, reduced disease risk, better brain health, and a stronger immune system. Scientists believe that eating protein, especially a large amount, would instantly switch autophagy off and stop the repair. The reason they believed this was a molecule called mTOR, which stands for Mechanistic Target of Rapamycin. When mTOR rises, it signals the body to build and grow, and it directly suppresses the autophagy pathway. Since mTOR rises, the logic seemed simple. Eat protein, raise mTOR, and autophagy completely disappears. That logic was clean, it was widely accepted, and it was taught as biological fact for many years. But the researchers in this study did not just test mice in cages or cells sitting in dishes. They tested real human beings who consumed vastly different protein amounts after completing actual exercise sessions in real life. One group consumed 25 grams of protein, the amount found in one standard chicken breast or protein shake. The second group consumed 100 grams of protein, 4 times more than conventional nutrition wisdom ever recommended. Traditional advice insisted your body could only use 30 grams at once, wasting everything beyond that strict limit. That 30-gram ceiling was repeated so many times that it became gospel inside the entire fitness and nutrition world. But when researchers examined what actually happened inside these real human bodies, the results completely defied all expectations. The group eating 100 grams did not hit a wall where muscle building stopped and protein was wasted. Their muscles kept absorbing amino acids and building new tissue for several more hours beyond what science predicted. The body did not dump the excess protein or convert it all into sugar through gluconeogenesis as assumed. It kept using every available amino acid productively, efficiently, and with remarkable precision for an extended window of time. And when scientists checked the autophagy signaling pathways inside these participants, they discovered something that genuinely stopped everyone in their tracks. The autophagy signaling pathways were still active. Consuming 100 grams had not turned the cellular cleanup switch off. The key to understanding this lies in how differently your body processes protein compared to how it processes carbohydrates. Carbohydrates cause a massive insulin surge that floods every single cell in your body with one unified message.
That message tells every tissue simultaneously to stop repairing, start storing, and redirect all energy toward fat accumulation immediately. Protein works in a completely different and far more targeted way than carbohydrates ever could inside human biology. It activates a specific sensor called cestrin-2, which detects amino acids and sends precise instructions only to targeted tissues. Protein raises insulin only slightly, nothing remotely close to the enormous spike that a carbohydrate-heavy meal would trigger. Without that massive insulin flood, there is no global shutdown signal reaching every single cell across your entire body. Instead of a loudspeaker broadcast, protein sends a quiet, precise whisper directly to the tissues that actually need repair. After exercise, your muscles are in a state of genuine desperation. They need amino acids urgently to rebuild damage. When protein arrives, starved muscle tissue absorbs amino acids so rapidly and aggressively that levels elsewhere remain remarkably low. Your muscles act like a completely dry sponge dropped into water, pulling everything in before it can spread elsewhere. Because muscles absorb so efficiently, your liver, fat cells, and organs never receive a dramatic nutrient overflow signal. Those other tissues still behave as if nutrients are scarce, so autophagy continues running smoothly inside them without interruption. You are simultaneously in growth mode inside your muscles while remaining in cleanup mode inside your organs and fat. This dual-state biology is something evolution designed over millions of years of feast and famine survival conditions. Our ancestors ate massive amounts of protein in one sitting after a successful hunt and then fasted for days. If large protein meals truly destroyed all repair processes, the human species simply would not have survived those conditions. Our bodies were specifically engineered to absorb protein in large doses while keeping cellular repair systems running in parallel. An amino acid called leucine plays a crucial role in making this entire muscle-specific activation process actually work. Leucine is the primary trigger that activates mTOR inside muscle tissue more powerfully than any other dietary compound known. As we age or develop insulin resistance, muscles lose their sensitivity and stop responding properly to smaller protein doses. This condition is called anabolic resistance, and it means your muscle-building signals become progressively weaker over time. A small 25-gram protein meal simply cannot produce a strong enough signal to overcome that growing resistance barrier. But a large protein dose, 50, 70, or even 100 grams, delivers the hammer blow that breaks through. Muscles respond, absorb, and rebuild aggressively because the signal is finally powerful enough to override their dulled sensitivity. And because muscles are working so hard absorbing everything, the rest of the body never receives the shutdown signal. Now, here is where this research reveals something critically important that most people completely miss about their own biology. This beneficial dual-state effect works beautifully in lean and metabolically healthy individuals with low body fat levels. But in people who are overweight or obese, the situation becomes significantly more complicated and requires a different approach. When scientists studied overweight individuals, they found that autophagy signals were actually elevated. The genes were screaming for cleanup. The body desperately wanted to repair itself, sending strong molecular signals to initiate the autophagy process throughout damaged tissue. But when scientists measured autophagic flux, which tracks whether cleanup actually completes its cycle, the process had almost stalled. The signal was loud and clear, but the machinery responsible for executing the cleanup was completely jammed and frozen.
It was like turning the key on a frozen engine. The starter clicks desperately, but nothing actually fires up. Visceral fat, the dangerous deep fat wrapped tightly around your internal organs, was the reason the system had stalled. That fat releases inflammatory chemicals called cytokines that damage mitochondria, disrupt cell communication, and clog the repair machinery itself. Your body tries to activate autophagy to fix the very damage that is preventing autophagy from working at all. This creates a brutal self-reinforcing cycle where the problem blocks the solution and the solution cannot reach the problem. You carry excess fat because your metabolism is damaged, and your metabolism stays damaged because autophagy cannot repair it. Understanding this cycle is not a reason to despair, it is actually the clearest possible roadmap toward real recovery. If you are overweight, your first mission is not optimizing your fasting window or worrying about every gram of protein. Your mission is removing the visceral fat that is physically blocking your autophagy engine from functioning the way it should. And the most powerful tool available for removing that visceral fat is not extended fasting, it is strategic protein intake. Protein has a thermic effect, meaning your body burns roughly 30% of protein calories just processing and digesting it. Eat 1,000 calories of protein, and your body automatically spends 300 of those calories on digestion alone. Compare that to fat or sugar, where your body stores almost everything consumed with virtually no energy expenditure at all. By increasing protein strategically, you raise your metabolic rate, preserve muscle tissue, and directly attack the fat blocking your repair. And when you break a fast, the timing and type of food you choose matters far more than most people realize. Old advice said to break your fast gently with bone broth, healthy fats, or something light to stay in ketosis. But new evidence says something completely different and far more powerful about exactly what you should eat when fasting ends. Break your fast with a substantial dose of lean protein, chicken breast, egg whites, white fish, or whey isolate. These foods provide exactly what your starved muscles are craving without flooding your system with sugar or excess stored calories. You feed the tissues that need rebuilding without triggering the global insulin signal that shuts down repair everywhere else. For lean and healthy individuals, this approach becomes a genuine biological superpower that simultaneously serves multiple goals at once. You can fast for 16 to 18 hours and then consume a large protein meal without sacrificing longevity benefits. You become a metabolic hybrid, an organism capable of building muscle, repairing damage, and cleaning cells all at once. For those struggling with excess weight, this research removes an enormous psychological burden that has been holding them back. You no longer need to starve yourself or fear that every gram of protein is destroying your cellular health. Eating 100 grams of protein after exercise activates powerful satiety hormones like GLP-1 and peptide YY naturally. These are the same hormonal systems that expensive weight loss injections attempt to manipulate artificially through pharmaceutical intervention. You trigger them naturally through food, reducing cravings, stabilizing appetite, and preventing the binge eating that restriction always causes. Meanwhile, your muscle tissue is protected, your metabolism stays elevated, and your body becomes better at burning stored fat. As excess weight drops gradually over weeks and months, something remarkable begins happening at a cellular level inside your body. The jammed autophagy system that once refused to respond slowly begins waking up and functioning the way it was designed. The frozen engine that clicked endlessly without starting finally fires up, runs smoothly, and begins repairing years of accumulated damage. Your biology begins restoring itself exactly the way millions of years of human evolution designed it to restore itself. This research removes the fear, replaces confusion with clarity, and gives you a practical framework grounded in actual evidence. The human body is not fragile or easily broken. It is remarkably intelligent, adaptable, and resilient when properly nourished. When you give it the right signals at the right time in the right amounts, it performs beyond expectation. You do not have to choose between looking strong today and living a longer, healthier, and disease-free life tomorrow. You do not have to fear the protein on your plate or treat food like some dangerous enemy working against you. Feed your body wisely based on real science, train with genuine intensity, and trust what evolution has refined over time. Because with the right approach, building muscle today and unlocking longevity tomorrow are not competing goals. They are one.